This week in the Restroom, we get our black magic on over an unfunny TV remake comedy from 2005. We've got non-magical jokes, non-magical acting, non-magical plot devices, non-magical special effects, and actors Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell having less chemistry together than Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise in Far and Away. It's Bewitched. And before we flush it, we're going to take it out and play with it a little. Restroom Cinema. We're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. Greetings, everyone. I am Honor Knight, your head cinematic flusher right here in the Restroom. As always, I'm joined by my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul Colleen Griffin.
Hey, hey, hey.
And Raging Buddha B-movie queen, Nora Crest.
What's up?
Our special guest this time out previously assisted with the flushing of the internship back in episode 157. She's an up-and-coming LA-based actress who has appeared in various independent film, TV, commercials, and web-based productions. Please welcome back the lovely and talented Elise Brent.
Hi, thank you.
Let's kick off this flush with a round of Thunder Dump. Blow some ass. I'll put 60 seconds on the Restroom clock, and we're going to go around the cinematic bowl to see who has the worst alternate title for this week's cinematic turd. The loser will then get to read the RSS, that's Restroom Stall Stats, in a funny voice of my choosing. Here we go. Griff!
Sabrina the Botoxed Witch.
Nice, Crest!
Desperately seeking chemistry.
Not bad, not bad. Elise!
Certainly not Salem.
All right. I don't know. I had Bewitched for all your black magic needs in a white woman. Griff!
Best viewed with eyes wide shut.
No! I don't know. She's on the line on that one. Crest!
Will Ferrell's way too long Tom Cruise impression.
Yeah, I'll give you that one. All right, Elise.
Bewitched.
No, Jesus. Wow. All right. You said you had good ones. I had Bewitched. Who made the comedy disappear? Griff.
The Blair Witch Reject.
Ah, Jesus. Here we go now. Crest.
Awkward Sasquatch.
All right, that was really good. Elise.
You've got to be Kid Manning me.
Oh, Jesus. And you said you worked on that. All right, that is time. We can't do any more than that. You're killing us, Elise. You're killing us.
Oh,
all right,
God.
Jesus.
Oh, please, I thought
That was good.
There you go, folks. That is your Restroom Stall Stats for this week. Obviously, the loser this week is, of course, Elise Brent, and she's gonna be reading the stats in the voice.
Are you hazing her?
No, I'm not. No, she clearly has. Come on. She had 3 losers right in a row here.
Yeah,
she lost.
She ended well.
She barely ended, but we'll
She brought her
It was
pun
her
game,
first-
though. You gotta give her points for the pun.
all right. So I think she's qualified to do the Restroom Stall Stats. She is the actress, for God's sakes. Come on now.
Apparently you aren't, since you never do them.
All right. All right, Elise, you're going to be doing the Restroom Stall Stats in the voice of a witch. You get to pick which one you want. Margaret Hamilton from Wizard of Oz, this chick in this movie, have at it.
Bewitched is a 2005 American romantic comedy fantasy film written, produced and directed by Nora Ephron, starring Nicole Kidman and Will Ferrell, alongside an ensemble cast featuring Shirley MacLaine, Michael Caine, Jason Schwartzman, Kristen Chenoweth, Heather Burns, Jim Turnell, Stephen Colbert, David Allen Greer, Carol Shelley, and Steve Ferrell. The film follows an out-of-work actor who discovers in the making of a retooling of Bewitched that his co-star is an actual witch. Bewitched opened theatrically in the United States and Canada on June 24th, 2005, to both critical and commercial failure, earning only $63 million in domestic grosses from an $85 million budget. Rotten Tomatoes reported that 25% of critics gave the film a positive review based upon 185 reviews, with the website statement, "Bewitched is haunted by scattered laughs and a lack of direction."
All right, there you go, folks. Holy shit. LA, if you're listening, Elise is really good on a cold read.
Hey, no, Honor, can I just say, you blew an opportunity.
What?
Why didn't you have us read it as Paul Lynde?
Because honestly, after Steve Carell in this film, I don't think I could stand another Paul Lynde
my
impersonation.
God.
We'll talk about
He was
that. He
fantastic.
was terrible. No, we'll talk. That's way down the line. All right, we can fight over that. All right, thank you, Elise. Great job. This film is one big dick suck for the original series, which unfortunately ends in a bukkake to the face for the audience.
Obviously, this is how Honor has sex with women.
No,
and that's why he's by
ouch.
himself.
Oh, well, yeah, that explains a lot, guys. Wonder how many times the Bewitched creator Soul Sachs rolled over in his grave when this turd came out.
No, this was his karma for like replacing the Darrens.
No, but let me just say this about that. They didn't just out of hand replace the Darrens. Dick York was physically ill. He collapsed
that's
on
right.
set.
Oh, did he?
Couldn't
Oh,
physically do the part anymore.
Jesus Christ.
So they found a guy who looked as close to him as possible and just
And
threw him
his
in there.
name was also
and they
Dick.
didn't announce it. That was the
Oh.
mistake they made. They didn't say, hey, Dick York is like fucking dying of this grotesque disease and he can't walk.
maybe they should have.
So we got this other schlub. Just hope you don't mind, So
Yeah.
everybody thought they just threw him off
the
the
same
show.
first name, so hopefully you won't.
I know
notice.
Dick Sargent and Dick York. Like that's
Sergeant
weird.
York.
We got a lot of dicks floating around, okay? Calm down, ladies. Your film sucks when we'd rather be watching a WB's Charmed instead.
Come
Come on! Come on!
Fucking
Oh,
awesome.
here we
Yeah,
go.
when
From the
Shannon-
lesbian.
Yeah,
That's-
the first couple seasons when Shannon Doherty was
here
on
we
there,
go.
it was awesome.
Okay, oh, jeez.
Thank
All right,
you.
I didn't realize we had so many Charm fans on the show tonight. Okay, here we go.
Hey,
I'm a
hey,
lesbian.
Yeah, as soon as you come out of the closet, Chris gets a pair of Birkenstocks in the Charm series.
Hey,
No, I
DVD.
wore
hey,
Birkenstocks in
you
high
know
school.
what?
so
You know
just-
what? I have worn Birkenstocks.
Okay,
proudly.
all right.
Am I an ally for wearing Birkenstocks?
Yes.
Okay, whatever.
The only magic in this turd was used to make the laughs disappear. Hey-o!
This is why
a
they
good
had
one.
the laugh track scenes with the people like in the audience because they were trying to hypnotize the audience.
There
in the
was
theater.
not-
Oh my god, I was like, really?
So I said, remember when the Will Ferrell SNL sketches ran on too long? Well, welcome to this turd.
But he was still better at it than he was in this. I have a feeling he knew. He was like, this is not funny.
At least,
But
did you laugh at
You
all?
have to also realize though, this is one of 5 movies that he had come out in 2005, and he was riding off of the Elf and Anchorman sort of like
Well,
wave.
he tanked on,
And
so
then
this
in
one got lost.
2005, they had
Yeah.
the Wendell Baker story, Kicking and Screaming, Bewitched, Wedding Crashers, Winter Passing, and then The Producers.
Oof.
Woof.
Did you laugh at all, Elise?
The only parts that really made me laugh were when Will Ferrell was obviously improving.
Sorry, so no, basically.
So basically, no.
A film by Nora Ephron. Anyone remember when that title credit actually meant something?
Well, I was like, oh.
What happened to
Nora.
this woman?
Rest in peace,
R.I.P..
Nora.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. She's dead. But what the hell happened to her, man?
Well, first of all, she wrote it, I think, with her daughter.
This
or
is all
sister,
her. She
Delia.
wrote it. Oh, really? She wrote it, produced it. This is her baby.
Yeah, she wrote, directed,
Oh.
and produced it.
Yeah, this is
and
all
it's-
her.
I don't know who
sad.
Delia
This
Ephron
movie is so
I guess
gross and
It's-
that's her
sexist.
sister.
I know that's
That's
terrible.
okay.
Yeah, all the dialogue is terrible. We'll talk about that. And I don't know,
This
like,
he secretly had cancer.
Well, there's
Well,
that.
that
but I
doesn't
think the
excuse her
problem
from writing
with
a
this
shitty
is
film.
Exactly what the problem with the show in the movie is that this is something that everybody loved. It's nostalgic, and then they're trying to retool it, and you're just fucking it up.
Bewitched. That was the title credit. I think the filmmakers wanted the audience to be bewitched, haha, into thinking the opening title credit song was actually good. Man, I haven't heard music this bad since Bjork.
No,
What?
you know what? No, this was this sweet, like folk alt.
That was a
pop.
terrible song. Was Santana's Black Magic Woman not available?
Why?
Who is this one?
Song
Who sang this piece of
song
shit?
Was distractingly bad.
This is not even lesbian music, Chris. You
It
wouldn't even
was
play this. Yeah, you wouldn't even play.
There's a category. At
There
the
is.
beginning.
Oh, yeah, right there.
Let's
There is a category on Amazon. That's one of the categories on Amazon.
Like you probably think they have to check your armpit hair.
Oh, ouch. No, there's a category on Amazon that says lesbian music. It's right there. You
There
gotta
is
look.
not a
Yes, there is.
category on
And it's
Amazon
all
that
like
says lesbian.
Melissa Etheridge and Indigo Girls and this lady. This lady who sung this song.
You have Googled lesbian stuff too many times.
Well,
and
no,
now it's
yeah,
just
I know. Maybe that's,
shit.
yeah, I know. I'm in fantasy land with that crap. Okay,
Yes.
all right, well.
It's the Fox News of lesbianism.
Yeah, oh, hey, that's all. Hey, it's perfect. I'll take it. What we won't take is Nicole Kidman's awful accent that makes her sound like Marilyn Monroe on Lithium. Man,
it's
she was
just
terrible.
During her post-Oscar,
What is she
the fuck
doing?
phase.
I haven't seen magic miscasting this bad since Nicolas Cage appeared in The Sorcerer's Apprentice. She was terribly miscast in this film. And he was miscast in that. Nobody wants it. Come on, you're not going to give me Cage?
Or since Nicole Kidman and the Stepford Wives.
Oh, there was that one too. Why does she keep doing these?
Well, she doesn't
TV
anymore.
stuff.
Now she's like on a career high again. Big Little Lies was Amazing.
I still
It
have
was
that on my
so
DVR. I have
good.
to watch
It
it.
Is it
was
really?
so
Watch
Wow,
it.
all right,
She-
wow.
She is as good as she has ever been.
Well, I hope so,
In
'cause here-
2005, she had The Interpreter, which I loved as a film. and
Yeah.
she was
yeah,
so
I
good
thought
in
that should have gotten more attention.
Well, then why did she take?
it.
I mean,
Totally should have.
it's a paycheck
And then-
movie for
and then
her.
this
Then.
movie. I mean, and of course she did Separate Wives in 2004.
Ugh, yeah.
You know, but I think she got like a little fucked up, honestly, after the hours.
Oh yeah.
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 It was like she was doing weird shit, and then she sort of got back in her rhythm.
Her name is Isabel in this Bigelow, and she's the Bewitched character, the Elizabeth Montgomery character of the TV series. And she's just renting a house. Well, she magically rents a house in a really nice house, by the way.
This is
Well,
what
can I-
everybody in
can I
LA
say-
wishes they could do.
Yeah, no shit.
Well,
Yeah.
can I say in this scene, she's like devious and clever and like,
Yeah, and gives it all
boom,
up.
I'm gonna do this and this and this to
Right.
make sure everything happens for me. And if she had kept going with that type of character, I would have been on board.
I'm gonna disagree on the miscasting of Nicole Kidman
Oh,
because
come on.
she's adorable and she's like a little fucking Australian Cupid doll.
Yeah,
so
but
you can't get mad at her.
Yes, you.
But
Yeah, you
the
can.
miscasting is not her. It's fucking Will Ferrell. He is not a leaning romantic man.
No,
He is an
yeah.
awkward Sasquatch. He's not the guy that girls are gonna be like, oh my god, I wish I was Nicole Kidman in that scene and he was slobbering all
Ew.
over my face.
We'll
Like,
talk.
no.
We'll,
You know, moving and perfect, but
Hmm.
nobody knew who he was. John Hamm.
Yes.
Yes, he would go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, hang in there. We'll get to him. Yeah. What's going on here, Isabel? I'm Michael Caine. You know, I've already done my share of crappy films over the years at the 4-minute mark.
Oh, he
Whoa.
said he doesn't care.
Collecting
No,
a
he does
paycheck.
everything. He does everything
He
that's
does-
handed to him.
He literally does.
Him and Samuel
said that.
Jackson will do anything.
Yeah, they.
Well, and Anthony Hopkins.
We need to write a movie for Michael Caine, Anthony Hopkins, and Samuel Jackson. We need to figure it out. Boom, it's gonna get made.
The script is just based on what Twitter users submit.
He turns up as her father. He's objecting to the fact she wants a normal life, of course, and he's in a handful of scenes. We'll talk about him as he's in and out pretty much of this film.
Well, and he's like supposed to be like this scumbag dad, and she's like,
I don't think he's a scumbag,
I'm not gonna date a warlock because they're all like you. What happened to her mother?
But I don't
her in
know.
the
We never see it in the
She
movie.
disappeared. She took off.
Does it really matter?
But the great thing
4
is
minutes
that
in here.
Michael Caine is obviously totally British, and then he has
Yeah, I
like
know.
he doesn't give a fuck about his accent. He
He don't
never changes
cares.
it ever.
Mm-mm.
The guy was he was in Jaws
She
4.
is
Come on,
American.
doesn't care anymore. Your total is $420.56. Only a witch could afford to spend that much at Bed Bath & Beyond. Why didn't you just
Seriously.
magically conjure up
Where's
one
your
of?
coupon?
Well, that's what I
You
say.
don't
Why didn't you magically
That
conjure
never
that up? You
expire
never.
ever.
I know she
But
never.
also, how come she had so many items in her cart? $420 isn't even gonna buy you a cart full of shit at fucking Bed Bath
No,
&
actually,
Beyond.
will not. I barely
Yeah.
get
Oh,
3
yeah,
items.
Will.
So.
Have you ever did the
No.
like clearance section?
Oh, you don't want that crap. She wasn't buying clearance items. She bought 2 like pizza cutters in a row.
I bought a clearance shower curtain.
Oh boy.
And a year later, I saw that back in the full price.
Bed Bath & Beyond, if you're listening, better start quaking in your boots, Miss Griffin.
I
Miss
don't know
Griffin's-
how many more advertisements they could have possibly put
I
in this
know,
movie.
I know. This is a big one because they actually do the scene
I-
inside of Bed
oh,
Bath
God,
&
I
Beyond.
should have called this Bed Bath and Bewitched.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, always the better
Oh,
titles
yeah.
coming in. That was a good one. That was actually a good one. Yeah, they didn't, and she didn't conjure up the 20% off coupon, which we'd all like to have, off the
Right.
entire order, not
No,
just
wait,
one
no,
item.
You don't need to conjure it. Like you could literally like.
No,
there's probably
no.
one under your chair right now.
No,
Yeah, whatever I
Five,
want
I
to
can
buy
give
there,
you
it's
one.
never 20% off.
No, no, no.
The thing I'm buying is always in the list of like shit.
Guys, you got to read the fine print. The 20% off, the one they give you all the time is for one item. I'm talking about the 20% off
yeah.
your entire order one. That's the rare one. You don't get that
Yeah.
one too often. That's the one you
okay,
want.
okay.
Yeah.
Are you a connoisseur?
No, I was explained to me because I got one in the mail that had it off your entire order, and I went and bought one thing or 2 things, and the lady, the register lady, was freaking out. She's like, "Oh my God, you know how rare this is?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She goes, "This only comes out, once every blah blah." I said, "Well, give me it back, bitch. I'm gonna get something else more expensive." So yeah, that was it got ugly real quick,
Why
but
haven't they
yeah,
done an SNL sketch about Bed Bath?
they
& Beyond?
should, but yeah, because they
Right?
did a whole
Like,
film. Then they do Click. Click had to deal with that. We're not gonna mention
Shut
who
up.
started. Yeah, I know.
Shut up.
I know. We'll
That
keep
will
going.
not be mentioned.
We're not gonna mention that.
Don't
Yeah.
Beetlejuice him into
No,
this
just-
fucking podcast episode.
Please don't. I know what you're gonna say. I'm a mess. Well, you're not gonna get any argument from me since Will Ferrell has either been a mess or played a mess in at least a dozen different turns the 7-minute mark. Mr. Ferrell plays a failing actor who had a series of a couple bombs, and now to recoup his career, he must do do this a TV series, which of course turns out to be Bewitched. We'll get into the meta of that in a second. But better casting. We already mentioned John Hamm. I think Chris Pine would have been better cast. Is this role?
No, he was so young back
I know,
then.
but I'm saying if he was
like
older then. I'm not.
Years ago.
I know. I'm not saying bad. I'm just saying now. If we had to cast it now, Chris Pine would have been a good choice.
Back then, though.
Yes. You want an actor you imagine yourself kissing. I can imagine myself kissing either John Hamm or Chris Pine. Not so much Will Ferrell. Elise, you know?
I don't know anyone except Ferrell.
You know who
Wait,
Chris Pine is.
you know who
though.
Chris Pine
I
is?
do know who Chris Pine
Yeah.
All
I
right.
do know who.
So you'd kiss him. Come on.
Well,
Okay, that's a no. All right, we'll move on. Maybe I'm barking up the wrong tree here. All right, we'll keep going. But Chris was right.
No,
and there's-
Elise. No, I want to know, Elise, who would?
Yeah, who would you pick? Who would you cast in it?
I don't know.
She's well prepared for the show, folks.
John Hamm would have been great.
John Hamm would have been a good choice. Yes.
Like somebody totally out, like that would have been so out there, but it would have worked better. Joaquin Phoenix would have done a better job.
No, don't get
than-
nuts.
than
Don't,
Will Ferrell.
come on, don't. Well, maybe at this point in time.
They couldn't put lifts high enough.
Yeah.
Joaquin's not that. Well, Nicole's not that tall though, is she?
How about-
She's
Yeah,
like
she's
five-
super tall.
Yeah, she's
like
super tall.
5'10".
Yeah, you're right.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, she's tall.
Well, you know,
And
when
in
you're
fact,
married to a midget, you just
I-
look taller.
I know.
So I didn't know if she was
Because-
actual tall or if she was just like
But-
pretend tall standing next to
No,
Tom.
no, she's for real tall, and I'm gonna bring that up later.
No, we will because
Because-
well, we should. I'm gonna mention real quick that she was in flats for most of the film because of that.
Right.
Yeah,
oh, right.
because
She's
too tall.
5'11". Wow.
Yeah, she's tall.
Yeah, and Will Ferrell is like 6'3", 6'4".
Yeah. They had to keep her in flats for the.
That's why they casted him.
Well, yeah, you're right because you're right. You're right.
Good
No, you're right,
point,
Elise, because
good
he's
point.
That's
he's
why
so
John
tall. You're
Hamm
right.
would have been okay. John Hamm's tall.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Well, we could
Yeah.
have went with John. Matthew
He's
McConaughey, I
tall,
think, would have been a good
tall, drink
choice.
water.
No, Matthew
Matthew
McConaughey.
McConaughey.
Yeah, I think he'd be a good
That
choice.
would've
I
been
think he would have
He
been.
could have done it.
He could have done it.
Well, Matthew McConaughey's short though. John
He's
Hamm is
5'10".
6'2", and Matthew McConaughey, hey, is he's 6 feet even. So
Oh,
he
he's
still
over
would have
my
been
head, yeah.
taller than her.
Yeah.
I want my life back, and we'd like our 102 minutes back, Will. That's when I said, when does the comedy portion of this comedy kick in? Nothing he does is funny.
He's trying.
He's
He
desperate.
knows
He
this
knows
is,
he's like he
not
has nothing to
right.
work with, and that's really weird that Nora Ephron couldn't write to him. Write to his strengths in this
I
film.
have a feeling maybe the studio.
It's a
like,
studio
pressured
thing?
her
Yeah,
to
maybe.
hire him.
Oh, that could be. Maybe they did want somebody like John Hamm. Maybe she actually wrote it with that kind of thing in mind, and they pushed it. He is not a romantic leading guy at all.
The guys who would fit in this category really weren't prominent names back then.
You're right. I mean, like I said, obviously we needed a star to go against it because it was Nicole Kidman, and Will
So this
Ferrell
is
was
just,
hot.
like, whoever greenlit this was an asshole.
Okay, well, there's that too. You look like Don Johnson, but in a bad way. Well, even in a bad way, Don Johnson still looks good. Unlike you, Jason Schwartzman, who looks like the day server at your local Fridays. I didn't like him at all in this
so
film.
bad.
His
man.
bull
Yeah,
is so awful.
It's so bad.
even Elise now finally she's like he was terrible in this, and yeah, his
Oh my God.
that hair
They
was
should have done
terrible.
this with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, Ryan Reynolds was an excellent choice. He
He
could have
would've
done
been
that.
great.
Yes, or somebody from Entourage or that Jeremy Piven character.
She was high on her medical marijuana and watched an episode of Entourage, and then watched an episode of Bewitched, and
Yep,
was like,
put the
hey,
two together,
what
right?
if we combine the two?
Jason Schwartzman plays the agent to Will Ferrell, who's getting him the job for the Bewitched show because his career's tanked. He did some shitty film called Back to Kathmandu or some nonsense that bombed terribly. I mean, don't go crazy. It is Bewitched. And that's when I said, wait, is this a film about the making of a series that was based on a series that is now a film? What kind of black magic Inception shit is going on here? So that's what they're doing, folks. They're making a new TV series about Bewitched in a film that's called Bewitched.
But it's to save his career and to save his ego. So they're going to make it all about Darren because
And hire an
Darren's
unknown.
So
and she's,
interesting.
they want an
Well,
unknown.
that's because the Jason Schwartzman character is basically like, the Will Ferrell's character, like tiny penis ego.
Right.
And it's just like needling him the whole time to be a douche, which is, I hope not. I mean, maybe Elise knows because I don't have an agent, but I hope that's not how.
Yeah, is your agent like that, Elise? With a bowl cut and walking around with his phone attached to his ear and shit, talking bullshit to you?
I don't. At the moment, I have an agent.
Oh, but when you get one, it's gotta be this guy,
I
right?
would stay away from the bowl cuts. for
Thank you,
sure.
thank you. Oof.
Hey, Nicole
That's a
Kidman.
deal breaker.
Nicole Kidman, her character doesn't have an agent either.
Well, there you go, so
and
you're-
she does just fine.
At least all you gotta do is wrinkle your nose, and you're gonna get that role. Don't worry about it.
I'm gonna test
Hella.
that theory out.
Yeah. It's totally it.
I think
You're
movies
gonna
like this
catch
are
me in
terrible.
Hollywood.
She's
teasing.
gonna be workshopping that shit down on Hollywood Boulevard, Hollywood and Vine tomorrow morning.
But I think movies like this are terribly mean for all of the actors who
Oh,
probably
yeah,
went
I
out
know.
for parts for this film and then are just like, fuck you, making a movie about somebody who is not even a fucking actor.
And,
and
yeah,
gets
walks
cast
in.
something.
I know.
Like, that's everyone's nightmare.
Haven't got to her. Yeah, it's coming. I don't want to be the mayor of Pussytown. Well, neither does Nora Chris, but she is going to live in Pussytown. Hey-o.
This does not make sense.
I know. Well, but Chris got it.
I want to
Are
be
so
the
bad.
mayor of Pussy.
Well, we can circle it back today. All right, you make a very good valid point. You're right. Who doesn't want to be the mayor? Oh,
What
man.
straight cisgendered white man is not like, I am the mayor of Pussytown.
But it makes me uncomfortable to
Go ahead.
no, to hear Will Ferrell say Mayor Pussytown just like in
Ew.
that chord made me very uncomfortable.
You never want to hear Will Ferrell say anything like sexual unless you know it's like
Unless you're married to him.
a joke.
Right, exactly. You're right. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right, Elise. Yeah, that was a little creepy. So, I forgot that was Will Ferrell.
Like,
So,
I'm actually more comfortable with John C. Reilly doing that stuff than I
Yes.
am Will Ferrell.
yeah, I agree with
for
you.
some
Yeah.
reason.
Oh my goodness, I'm creepily stalking a woman's nose. Wait. Oh my goodness, that's the line. I'm creepily stalking a woman's nose around the 14-minute mark. Very few people knew that when Elizabeth Montgomery twitched her nose on a show was from cocaine use. Oh, see, now I read that all wrong. That was a lot funnier, guys. Hey-o. I totally fucked up that joke, and it was a good joke.
I feel like you're like Jeb Bush, and we should be like, please.
Well,
clap, and
so-
we'll clap for you.
What I'm saying about creepily stalking his nose is this is the point where every actress in LA hates this shit, where Will Ferrell, the famous actor, finds this unknown, which turns out to be Nicole Kidman, in a fucking bookstore because he sees her nose through the book. And that's why I say creepily stalking. See, I have to work my way back to the joke now.
and
But
by the
the
way,
scene
she
is
said
so
that- wait.
weird and awkward.
It
Why
is.
would on one shelf it would be like, what am I going to do with my wife? And on the opposite
Life,
side of that
wife.
same shelf, it's like, my wife slept with a basketball player and how I survived.
And there was like 3 copies of that book.
And by the way, Nicole Kidman's character is a witch who is trying to like put herself through like conversion therapy for witchcraft. And then, so that's where we are. She's trying not to use magic.
Exactly, and he stalks her to a little sidewalk cafe, which are all over LA if you've been to one of these places. And they all have that snarky fucking server. Everyone has one of those in LA too.
She was
in some other stuff, yeah.
HBO show that George Clooney produced about actors trying to make it in LA.
Oh, like her, probably. But she was funny. Yeah, she was actually funnier than most people. Anyone can act, sometimes badly, with like Will Ferrell in this scene. But yes, 16-minute mark, so that's where we're at there. He's trying to convince her to do the show. You seem very sweet and unkempt and troubled. Nicole Kidman has just described Will Ferrell's entire existence on this planet. Oh,
he's not troubled. That's the thing.
Will Ferrell might be a little trouble at this point.
When has he ever had any sort of like personal problems?
I think it shows up in his performances mainly. Who wasn't allowed? So he does convince her to.
No,
do the
he's
show.
not. I mean, he's been married to the same woman since 2000. They have 3 kids. She's from Sweden.
Oh, that explains everything.
Yeah.
Yes, she doesn't speak English. That's why he's able to stay married. She don't know what the hell he's talking about. Yeah.
I think they met on Night at the Roxbury. They were
The only
both
word
together.
she knows is credit card and money. That's the only 2 words she can say.
Oh, come on.
Oh my God! It's
Career,
so
she gets-
tragic that a comedian finds happiness.
Who wasn't allowed to watch Bewitched? Well, apparently everyone involved in making this film.
It's like I'm like, did you not live in Indiana? Do you not know it exists?
Everybody watched Bewitched. You should have been able to easily write a decent adaptation of
I
this.
had so many people who weren't allowed to watch like Bewitched, The Golden Girls, like all that shit.
I'm going to be Samantha on Bewitched. They're redoing the show. Was it really that difficult to remake Bewitched, I guess, like I was just saying, without actually referencing the original show? This entire film was like a Monty Python sketch where they're making fun of a remake of a Monty Python sketch, only a lot less funny. I don't understand why we had to even deal with the original show. It is exhausting. She wrote herself around in circles trying to get this out instead of just using it as a jump point for doing something else.
Okay, my issue is that she was this talented witch. She comes into this like a boss, getting the house. She wants.
Right. The house, the sign, yeah.
And all of a sudden, like half of her brain cells leave her body.
She's completely.
Like, I don't know all these things in the modern world.
She goes into dumb mode. You're absolutely right. Yeah, I don't know why she became an idiot. And the problem is she's an intelligent woman, Nicole Kidman in general, and she's played a lot of intelligent characters, so it's hard to believe her when she's trying to dial it down. You know, you could have just got a dumb chick or, you know, an actress who's good at playing dumb characters.
And she's like, I'm not going to be taken advantage like you did with other people, Daddy. It's like she has no concept of, like, normal human behavior.
I know.
Or sex, apparently, because when someone calls him a dick later, she's like, what's that? Pretty sure if you've been in relationships, you know what that was.
You turned your back on your own kind, and now you live down the street from a Denny's. If anyone other than Michael Caine dropped this line, it wouldn't have landed. I thought that line was funny. Only because of his delivery, because it is Michael Caine. I didn't really, you know,
and I enjoyed every moment he was on the screen.
Because we had nothing else to watch, basically.
No, he and Shirley MacLaine's plot line was awesome.
Yeah, it also goes it goes nowhere, though. I don't think it was awesome, but it goes nowhere. We'll talk about that. That's coming up. They replaced Darren on the original Bewitched, and no one noticed. However, we definitely noticed if they replaced Will Ferrell with a better actor at the 30-minute mark.
Okay, but
we've mentioned a couple already, but yes, go ahead, Chris.
No, there was just a piece of trivia that was, like, crazy. I guess originally Penny Marshall was attached to direct this in 1993.
Jesus.
And her cast was to include Meryl Streep as Samantha, Barry Humphries in his Dame Edna persona to do Endora, Robin Williams as Uncle Arthur, Shelley Winters as Gladys, Jerry Seinfeld and Billy Crystal would alternate scenes as Darren. Like, that would have been
brilliant.
Awesome.
I agree. That lineup was a lot better than what we got.
Do you want to make me cry?
Wow, the studio shelved this thing for 12 fucking years.
My God.
Oh, man.
That would have been really
now
good.
You brought us all down.
I'm angry. I'm like angry.
Don't worry. Yeah, don't worry, Samantha. I won't do it. Wish veteran actor Shirley MacLaine had said that regarding her role in this film. I haven't seen Shirley MacLaine this bad since Valentine's Day. All right, I guess. Oh, that's a small one.
Shirley MacLaine is just Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah, but she does it. I think could have got it. Like the part is now some of these jokes after Chris just ran that whole thing down just go right out the window because we already seen what a better cast would have done. So you know,
I just imagined the whole
Dame Edna would have been way better. Yeah, I know. He's just so she plays Endora. She is another actress, but she turns out to be a witch later on, of course.
For Shirley MacLaine, this is the second movie in 2005 that she does that's like a movie about a show about a movie kind of thing. Because the second one was Rumor Has It.
What was that?
It's about a woman who learns that her family was the inspiration for The Graduate.
So bad.
And then Jennifer Aniston realizes she's the offspring that happened because of The Graduate get-together.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
She did two of those in 1 year.
What would Samantha do? Apparently play the theme song to CSI Miami before she goes on a magical rampage around the 36-minute mark. Then I wrote, get those sunglasses on.
Awesome. Where'd you... being a badass that way.
So anyway, she finds out that the whole thing surrounds Darren, and he doesn't really, or the character Darren, or Will Ferrell, and Will Ferrell's being a self-centered jackass. And when they're filming the show, they didn't give her any lines to say. They kept shooting around her during the pilot and stuff like that. She never caught on to that. Again, she's dumbing down her character even in the film. How come she doesn't pick up on any of that?
Because she wants him to like her.
Well, yeah, they do like. Well, she likes him.
It's gross. It's gross.
It's super gross. But anyway, so she finds out and goes in there and starts reading everybody to riot act, which you've seen actors do all the time on sets like this. Elise knows. She's probably rampaged for at least a couple sets by now.
I'm rampage free.
Oh, really? I'm trying to give you street cred, but all right, you want to keep popping that balloon? Go. That's all right.
That's usually not going to get you hired.
Well, sometimes street cred I'm trying to rock.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I'm trying to give you a couple tattoos, but that's all right. Where art thou, dog? If you want to see Will Ferrell act unfunny while magically possessed, I give you the 38-minute mark. Now, I guess this is where he was improvising.
I'm sorry, I laughed at some of this.
I knew you. All right. Well, I didn't laugh at any of it, but he was improvising in this scene. Elise, I think that's where you were laughing, right? This is the part you thought?
Oh, my God.
He got to do his thing and his element. You know, like that was, it's more like classic Will Ferrell humor.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree with that. I just didn't think a lot of it landed. So basically, what happens is,
like, oh my God, where's my dog?
She gets a little upset with him and rampages back, and it's passive aggressive type of magic. She makes him say this one line that was supposed to be funny, and he has maybe one that's okay. I have a crush on Endora, and apparently Nicole Kidman has a crush on Cool Whip. Since there are no less than 7 containers in
Oh
that
my
shopping cart around the
God, I
42-minute mark.
That was weird. I
Yeah,
noticed
you know,
that too.
this is what happens, folks, when you watch films and they're so bad you start looking around the edges of the frame just for something else. And it turns out I just happened to glance at the cart and she has no less than 7. And they're all different kinds. I like Cool Whip. I'm not going to say it wasn't awful product placement. It is, but Cool Whip is rather tasty. So that's my unsolicited Cool Whip
Well, she's
promo.
sitting in bed in one scene and she's just eating.
Yeah, she
Cool
was
Whip
eating
with a
later on.
spoon.
That's,
And
That's the best way to
instead
eat
of
it.
ice cream, and I was like, "What kind of like?
It's cool.
What?
And not only that, she's eating like Cool Whip Light.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, she that
Right?
red container
Why?
one. Yeah, the red container, red label.
It
That's
wasn't as good. It wasn't as good as the frosting scene in Death Becomes Her, where Goldie Hawn is like,
Oh,
she's
my
just
God,
eating the
that's
frosting out of the
amazing.
can.
Yeah, that was way better. Yeah, it's one of these. But anyway, before she does that, she's just going through the shopping cart, and Michael Caine is talking to her through different products and stuff like that.
The fish sticks.
Yeah,
product.
fish sticks, the cans. It's a lot of product placement, guys, in this scene. In case
No,
you're-
but I loved it.
Your Aunt Clara used to be able to make a clean landing. Unlike actress Carol Shelley in this turd 45-minute mark. She's the one who plays.
It was so dumb.
She's terrible too. She basically is brought in to put a hex, because apparently she's the only one that can do a hex on Will Ferrell, and we'll get to that in 1 second. But before that, Kidman has the line says, "Then I could keep my job, which would help my self-esteem." We're talking about putting that hex on. Unlike appearing in this film, which probably didn't once Kidman saw that 25% tomato meter rating. 25%, folks. And in case you're wondering what the tie-in for this week is, you get a two-fister on this one. You're going to get Will Ferrell in The House, and you're going to get Steve Carell in Despicable Me 3.
What
That's
if
your
The House
tie-in.
ends up being a really good movie?
I don't think it's gonna.
People are too cranky right now. Like, I get it. I'm fucked up about
I'm not
camp and
cranky.
everything else too. But guess what? You can still enjoy good camp. Go enjoy fluff movies. That's what they're there for.
I agree. I saw the trailers for The House. I don't think it looks funny, but folks, that opens tomorrow.
I do. I want to see
I think it
like.
looks funny.
I don't think it
I
looks
want
funny.
to see some dumb assholes try to be like
Well,
reenact Casino.
I'm gonna go see Despicable Me 3. Minions, guys, Minions. Really? Do we have to? I mean, there's no contest here.
The minions are so cute.
Thank you. See? So Lisa and I
They're so
will be seeing
cute.
Despicable Me 3. This is your tie-in. Good luck. High fives all the way around, which is probably what they were doing after this turd rap, thinking they had a hit on their hands at the 49 minute. All right, so basically, Mr. Ferrell gets a hex put on him, and now it's a little too much of a hex, and he's a little too smitten with Isabel, Nicole Kidman's character, so he starts doing weird shit. And when the ratings come, well, not ratings, the test scores come in, and of course, he bottomed out, and they like her, and he doesn't care because he's under the spell, and it's all, it's
He was
really just...
32%, and she was at 99.
Yeah, he's really... Ferrell's really trying in this scene, and none of it's landing.
So, like, somebody needs to, like, put that hex on Trump, so he'll be like, yay! It doesn't matter.
There you go. Aunt Clara, please pick up the phone. Who can blame Aunt Clara for not picking up when Kidman's trying to call her on a 90s flip phone? I know we always cite that out, but...
No,
it's a flip phone.
Pre, like, iPhone.
Well, yeah, 2005. Yeah, but yeah, you got that awesome 90s flip phone, which you've seen in every other film.
Yeah, but she's right. The iPhone didn't come out yet.
Yeah, but there's
There
other
was
phones.
no candy bar phone at
Yeah,
the time.
Yeah, there was a candy
Jason
bar
Schwartzman
phone.
has that fucking BlackBerry with the huge like keypad and shit.
Or like you had the cool ass Samsung with
Yeah.
like the color screen.
You could have gotten a razor.
Could have got a razor, but this,
Motorola
yeah,
razor.
it's just regular. I want to know everything. Well, considering Will Ferrell and Nicole Kidman have about as much chemistry together as Donald and Melania, the less we know, the better. 55-minute mark on that one. Because they have a date up on the hill overlooking LA, which is basically a studio. They aren't even out on location at that point. I hate seeing scenes like that. I don't know why they just didn't go up.
By the way, when he like asks her to go out on a date, she
Yeah.
goes no. That means yes.
No means yes.
Oh, okay, that's not
Yeah.
problematic.
They at least there is that spot right overlooking LA. There's a couple of them. I know, not Runyon Canyon. I know that's one of them, but there's another.
Mulholland.
Is it Mulholland? I'm sorry. Yeah, I can ask Chris the same question. But yeah, they decided to do it in the studio, and I don't know. It looks terrible. But anyway, so yeah, he's trying to woo her. It's an awkward scene. They were dancing, and he was singing some weird shit. It was just none of it's landing. None of it's funny.
She fell for it.
Yeah. She falls for it. They go back to her place, and then he drops this line. He says, "Let's make love in a hot air balloon." And I said, Will Ferrell is only one beard and a Rachel Drecht away from a SNL hot tub sketch around the 57-minute mark.
Oh my god, that's so
Yeah, because he was dropping some weird shit. And then she says, rewind. And I said, too bad we couldn't rewind the entire film and forget this turd. So the whole scene gets
I almost
erased.
thought about that for an alternate title as rewind.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, because she has this thing where she can roll back time, like Cher.
If I could turn back time.
Well, she does, and apparently that's such a convenient plot thing, a convenient screenwriter's thing to get out of the scene. We're just gonna rewrite. In fact, that's a whole chunk of it. That whole date is erased, and we go back to the scene where they're planning the hex, if I'm correct, right? And then she doesn't plan the hex. She tells Aunt Claire to go to hell, and keeps. So poor Carol Shelley is wasted for one scene.
Okay, this whole thing goes between Nicole Kidman being like savvy and being the dumbest person ever.
Yeah, again, and you really have an issue with that. Either be smart or be dumb. You can't just keep waffling back and forth here, magically. Hey, why don't... Oh, here you go. So anyway, she comes back now. Now she's ripping out... She rips him out again, right? She has another fit, because now she found out that he really is, taking advantage of her, and she...
No, that was before this.
Okay, so now she goes back and actually directly yells at him, tears him a new asshole.
No, that was before.
No, that was a different rampage. This is where she goes. This is this rampage now. Because then there's a line. Somebody says, "Hey, it's Jason Schwartzman, by the way, the guy with the bowl cut." Says, "Hey, why don't you go back to your trailer and take a Midol?"
The whole thing is like.
Yeah, Nora Ephron wrote this, by the way. Okay.
But before they go on their date, that's from the hex. The hex is caused from him saying, "Oh, she's dumb."
Yeah, but then they get rid of the hex, and this is the actual, like, when she goes, now this is the actual scene, because they're going back to that early, right? Stay with us, folks. It was very hard, but secretly quite thrilling. Griff?
That's what she said.
Hey-o! All right, we'll be here all week, man.
Nice setup.
Little more, yeah, well, it's a nice setup, yeah. Griff, a little bit more life next time. Or share, one of the two.
Should I smile more?
Yeah, smile more. Big smile, thank you.
Oh, my goodness.
Hey-o, I know.
Driving off the deep end.
I know. If you like making love at midnight,
Hey,
I'm not gonna. We're gonna hate this rendition of the Pina Colada song around the hour and 5 minute mark. Could someone please stop using this song?
Why do they do this for people falling in love? This song is about people.
It's infidelity.
Yeah,
fair.
Right, it's about literally finding someone in the classifieds to have sex with.
Yeah, before Craigslist, folks, that's what you had to do. You had to look in the newspaper to get laid.
It's about a guy who takes an ad out in the classifieds to find someone to hook up with.
This is not a love song.
In movies, they never play any of the lyrics past. Do you like pina colada?
Yeah, no, and they don't.
I didn't know that's what the song.
Oh yeah, it's about infidelity. It's about infidelity.
Yeah, it's literally singing about placing this ad in the classifieds to find someone to have an affair with because he's so fucking bummed out with his wife.
And so then somebody in the song, somebody answers the ad, and then they go meet, and it turns out to be his own fucking wife. Now, why didn't that woman punch him in the face at the end of that song? You know, it should have sang that. That should have been the end of the song. Should have fucking killed him right there. But you might want to listen to the lyrics on that one. Yeah, everybody thinks it's a romantic love song. It's not.
The song because you just heard the chorus in like 27.
Yeah, everybody thinks it's about being like fun, like
it's
being
not.
young and in love.
No, it's
about like some deep fucked up. Like,
some horrible.
Yes, I don't like pina coladas. Those are just.
I don't like them either.
Terrible.
Yeah, they are terrible. The only person that got away with it, I will let it slide for Guardians of the Galaxy. I thought it fit for that film, but that's the sole exception. So please stop using it as a romantic song. It's not a romantic song. So anyway, yeah, they have a whole scene where they're singing this ad, and they're getting along now. Now they're filming the show that they want to film, and they're more equal partners in that because he convinces her to come back to the show because she quits. She gets fired, she quits, and he rolls up in a golf cart and convinces her to come back. So now we got this god awful song. We couldn't get the rights to Black Magic Woman, yet we got the rights to this. I don't get it. Or Witchy Woman. Could have been 7 other witch songs we could have done.
I thought they had Witchy Woman at some point.
They sing it. Somebody sings it, but they didn't play the actual song. Somebody was just singing it for like 2 seconds. Let's go to our house for a strangely out of place musical number. There you go, guys. We're on the hour 8 minute mark. This is where Damien Chazelle probably came up with the idea for La La Land.
Oh god.
Because this sequence was fucked up too. It didn't even belong in the movie. Why do we have the whole... They go back to the soundstage and they start dancing on the movable stairway.
Oh, it's supposed to be like some singing in the rain.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense in this. He's a jackass in the scene. They have no chemistry.
A scarf with her like floaty skirt.
Yeah, they have no chemistry together.
Why do people in LA wear scarves all the time?
Well, this is where you notice in this scene though, guys, where she's wearing the flats. Like it's really noticeable.
Because we're like real people.
Right.
We want to pretend we have weather. Okay. So scarves are fun.
Okay. That's a good point. Yeah, and you can really notice the flats in this. So you can really tell she's wearing the flats. I'm like, that's all. That's all.
But no, what you notice more, he has heels on his shoes. They're like
why does she have
heels.
heels? Right, but she's not allowed to wear them because she'd be taller than her.
No, she's not.
I don't get it.
He's like 4 inches taller than he.
Well, then
I don't know why
did they put her in
him so much
heels?
taller than her.
I don't understand
Why is he wearing heels?
No, it's dance heels. Dance heels.
Her ex-husband. I don't know.
Ouch! Oh,
Made it feel more
hey!
comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. Tom Cruise is shit. You must be Samantha. You look just like the old one. Hey-o. All right, that was Nora Ephron writing. That's her hey-o. I'm not taking credit for that one.
We get the prototype for the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills.
Yeah, this Ferrell apparently is still married, and his wife won't grant him a divorce. She's still living in his house, fucking some other pool guy or whatever. So she shows up. The lady is not really that funny.
And also, Nicole Kidman's back to Marilyn Monroe with the giggling.
Yeah, they have a nice kiss, and now they're all like goofy about each other. Yeah, we're back to the Marilyn Monroe.
I think that's because, well, Julia Roberts was one of the 37 other women considered for this role.
Really?
And I'm not exaggerating.
Jesus.
I'm going to read you super quickly
All
the
right,
list of people that were considered before Kidman was cast. Jennifer Aniston, Christina Applegate, Patricia Arquette, Drew Barrymore, Kim Basinger, Kate Beckinsale, Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Connelly, Kristen Davis, Cameron Diaz, Heather Graham, Melanie Griffith, Maggie Gyllenhaal, Cherry Hatcher, Helen Hunt, Angelina Jolie, Ashley Judd, Lisa Kudrow, Alyssa Milano, Julianne Moore, Brittany Murphy, Tatum O'Neal, Gwyneth Paltrow, Sarah Jessica Parker, Michelle Pfeiffer, Molly Ringwald, Meg Ryan, Winona Ryder, Julia Roberts, Brooke Shields, Alicia Silverstone, Hilary Swank, Charlize Theron, Uma Thurman, Naomi Watts, Reese Witherspoon, and Renee Zellweger.
Whoa! Nora Crest with the win!
People, I hope they all didn't read something for this.
That's just way. And you can't tell me in that pool of talent of what you just read, they couldn't come up with somebody better than Nicole Kidman.
She's not the problem. Will Ferrell is the problem.
All right, well, that's
all
right.
Yeah,
I think they're both.
I think they're both the problem.
Yeah,
I
think they're both the problem.
There's no chemistry. I don't
There's
believe
none.
for 1 minute that she looked at Will Ferrell and was like, yes. Like,
also,
I would whoever
to see Stephen Colbert be wasted.
Hey, Crest,
he's
what?
just sitting there with this shitty grin on his face
we
the
should
whole
mention.
time, like, why am I here?
He's one of the producers and writers of this show, and he has lines peppered out. None of them are funny lines, and he's just kind of there. So we should mention that. Also, Crest.
Alan Greer was trying so hard.
He's given nothing. Yeah, we should mention he's a comedian. He's the director of the show, and he's not given anything funny to do either. That was a little harsh, just like most of this turd. Yet we don't have that magical rewind feature to erase from our memory. Hour and 12-minute mark. Cheap joke there, but it does accurate. Do you have some Daniel Day-Lewis thing happening here?
That was a great line.
The thing where he's going to quit acting. I don't think we're going to get that lucky Will Ferrell, guys.
That's now. This is super method. That was actually a good joke.
All right. Hour 19. Boy, you guys, all right, standing up for the one.
Daniel Day-Lewis fucking built his own house on the set of the movie where he plays the guy, the thing. That's how method he is.
Yeah, because they have a budding romance, she wants to become completely clean.
What, There Will Be Blood?
No.
All right, guys, we're not talking about
that. Amish guy, but it's not Amish. It's the other one.
I don't care about that. Look, that's a whole separate show, guys.
The Crucible?
Oh,
yes,
Jesus
he
Christ.
built his own house. The house that he's in the fucking movie, he built it with own tools from the era.
This is not the Daniel Day-Lewis podcast, okay? Or Daniel J. Lewis.
You know what? Like, I've never heard about him being a dick.
Okay.
Even though he was method, I've never heard about him being like an
I never said
dick.
it. Look, we're not. All right. And I have to say, because let's recap what's happening here. Now I completely forgot. You got me going on that milkshake shit, and now I can't fucking focus.
I drink your milkshake.
I
drink your milkshake. I drink it up.
So basically, yes, she wants to come clean and be honest with him, and so tell him that she's a witch. And of course, she tries to, and she's doing all these dumb tricks. Of course, he's a complete idiot and doesn't believe it until there's this whole broom scene, and he makes her fly around, or she makes him fly around, and then he starts freaking out and leaves her. He actually shoos her away, which I thought was kind of fucked up. Like with the branches, that was kind of weird.
Well, this is like
a grown adult.
Bed knobs and broomsticks.
It is. It's not funny though. Yeah. He can't land any of this. But so then after they break up, they have she's meeting with her girlfriends, and she says, "Last night I ate 3 burritos and smashed every dish in the house. Strangely enough, that's exactly what I did after watching this turd, and pretty much what I do every week, actually, on the show."
But then he ended up like the police brought him back, which hey, privileged. And like he was holding a ketchup bottle that he had in Santa
that's
Fe.
Right. There's
or Phoenix or something.
None of that's funny though. None of that's funny.
And then Jason Schwartzman tried to like tip the police officer. He goes, "No, I don't do that."
Right.
Actually, that probably does happen.
Do you think she might be a witch and put a spell on me? Can someone please put a spell on me to make me forget this turd? And then I wrote, "Hey-o." That would have landed if I was drunker. Unfortunately, I'm a little too sober for that. He's idiotic, yet I find him completely charming. This is also how people describe me. All right, let's keep going. Is this on? Is this mic on?
Yes.
Yeah. And Chris with the win. Uncle Arthur, it's you. Here you go. Now we can start bitching. Actually, it's Steve Carell doing a really bad Paul Lynde impersonation around the hour and 20-minute mark. And then I wrote, yikes. I would have been funnier if they actually gotten Paul Lynde's dead body instead. I was so mad at this. He was terrible.
You know what? I know everything about this was wrong. The way they executed it was wrong.
Oh, yeah. The way they brought him into the film? You're talking...
This late in the film, Steve Carell was suddenly huge.
Hour and 29 minutes.
Huge. And they brought him in. His interactions with Ferrell were weird. His land impression was okay.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
They never established that...
What kind of character is he? Was he from the TV show, or was he an actual...
Yeah, it was very confusing.
They never established that, like, oh, is it the real one?
Right.
Or, like, he could have done this whole thing about how he hates the show because they stole his likeness or whatever.
Yeah, what they could have done is, why didn't you just get Paul Lynde?
That would have been more interesting.
I think it would be more interesting that they got Paul Lynde from the show and spliced him into the movie. Like, he had a back and forth, like, just doing...
Think about it. If he said, like, I hate those bitches because they like, cultural appropriation.
Or like a whole movie rewrite. Instead of having Will Ferrell's character be a washed up guy, he could just be like crazy and talking to the uncle the whole time.
Oh,
anyway.
yeah.
That's the reason why he's doing the show.
That would have been better. Yeah, they could have made it work.
Like a whole sidekick thing through the thing.
But Carell comes on, he's trying way too hard, and like I said, you can't. This would be like impersonating Peter Sellers. You got to leave it alone. You can't. It just doesn't do it justice.
Maybe they like brought him in at the end. And
that could be.
We got to do something.
That could be because the film wasn't working, and he comes in really late, like Griff just said, an hour and 29-minute mark. He comes in way late into this movie.
To bring him in that late.
Way late. Yeah, he should have brought him in 45 minutes earlier, and then have him as a through line. But no, and Carell, like I said, he's doing what he can, obviously, but. It's just he shouldn't have been anywhere near doing this type of stuff. So it was really
his impression felt rushed. Like it seemed he could have done if you given him the time to do it. I mean, hello, Homeboy got an Oscar nomination.
I know. Give
him the time, he can do it.
Right. So he's there to help Will Ferrell get back on track and go after Nicole Kidman, who's planning to leave to go somewhere and leave him and leave the show. And so it's a chase scene to get to the woman before she takes off. We've seen this in a million other films. It's not done any better here. He says, run to her, you idiot, or jump in that convenient golf cart, which is actually marginally funny. Hour and 40-minute mark. That's where I kind of chuckled. I like how instead of running all the way into the studio, he just jumps in that golf cart and drives down. But all right, maybe that was just me. Home is with me. Was anyone else puking when Will Ferrell uttered this unconvincing line? That was when he was trying to win her back at the end. Ugh. All right, maybe that was just me.
That's what I said. They had no chemistry.
No, they have none.
Chemistry.
Yeah.
No, it's disgusting. So anyway, he wins her back. No surprise. And this is it. Abner, a tree just appeared in the front yard, and that's what I wrote.
Oh, that was the best part. Is when we saw Amy Sedaris.
That is Amy Sedaris, and Richard Kind is the husband in that house. And that's why I said this is how you wait. Then I said, this is how you end your crappy remake. Oh, God damn it. We
gotta go back. We gotta go back to what? In front of the house. When he goes, well, we should probably do some stuff first, like get the series made, and then probably get married. He just got divorced. Got divorced.
So they end the film with a CGI tree, and I've seen better endings on a guillotine.
Accurate.
Crest on credits, was there anything?
Nothing.
Oh, man. So this is how the film ends? It's a non-ending. Nothing's resolved.
All these characters that should have been introduced in the beginning, leave it with nothing.
They left literally and just had to end the film. There's no resolution. There's no wrap-up scene with anybody. They don't have a final thing with the father.
Well, it's like all the other Disney movies.
Jesus
Christ. A happy ending. They just ride off in the carriage.
It's not I know. They go into the house.
It's like, no, they ride off into like a gossip blogger's dream of a short-lived Hollywood marriage.
I was waiting for more, and I was waiting for end credits, but Crest said there was nothing, so I don't even get that. Guys.
I was not waiting for more.
Oh, you weren't? You were done?
Right?
Elise was out.
It's just like, thank God.
Had enough. All right, so there you go, folks. That is, that's Bewitched, and we are definitely not bewitched after sitting through this mess. We took it out and played with it a lot longer than we should have. Can we flush it, ladies and gentlemen? We took it out and played with it. Hey, I was gonna. All right, fuck it. Now I got to keep going. because you had
put it on a broom and fly it away.
No, wait. Let me give you your cue. Let me give you your intro, and then you can. Can we flush it, ladies? Can we please flush it?
Put it on a broom and fly it away to the moon.
It's funnier when she doesn't do it the second time. There you go, folks. Consider it flushed. That is, my God, we bewitched our way into that ending. That is it for this week. I want to thank my lovely co-cinematic flushers, Midwest movie mogul, Colleen Griffin, and Raging Buddha Bee movie queen, Nora Crest. Great job as always, ladies. And we want to thank our very, very special guest, Elise Brent. Thanks so much, Elise.
Thanks.
So happy.
I think she's less enthused she came this time than she was the first time. So,
Elise, we're sorry.
And Elise, you got stuff coming up down the line, right?
I do. I have stuff in pre-production. One thing in post.
Okay, and between that, folks,
to look out for.
Yeah, but except for her Tuesday and Thursday shift at TGI Fridays, you can catch her down there.
Hey,
it's on Wilshire and 3rd.
You want people to follow you on Twitter or anything?
Yeah. Okay. All social media handles are elise.brent.
We also have EliseBrent.com, link in the show notes. You can go right to her website and see her smiling mug right there on the front page, so you can check out all things Elise.
My smirky little face.
Yes, or the TGI Fridays.
Signature smirk.
Yeah.
We appreciate a good smirk.
We love a good smirk, absolutely. So thank you so much, Elise. We do appreciate it. Hope you come back again. And we're going to be back next week to torture you folks with something else. Until then, say goodbye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Or not.
Bye.
Or not. Yep, two jobs. Every week.
Hi, this is Sarah Polton, and I want to thank you for listening to This Week and Every Week as we flush these turds down our cinematic bowl here in the restroom. And by turds, I mean the movies, not my ex-boyfriends. If you haven't already, please subscribe to us on iTunes and Google Play Music so we can attract more listeners and so you don't miss a single episode. We love feedback, so email us at signalsoffury@gmail.com with your comments and suggestions for future flushes. Also, be sure to check out our home restroom on the net, signalsoffury.com. Until next time, remember, we're here to flush it, so you don't have to see it. I'm Sarah Polton, and this has been the award-winning Soiled Restroom Cinema.